Welcome to week 8. This week we're going to be working on content and wireframes. So last week we wrapped up the home page for your whitewater rafting site, and this week you are going to work on those 2 child pages for your whitewater rafting site, and then you're also going to be working on your personal site a little bit more. So let's go into it. So first of all, we have an optional questions and conversations discussion board that you can use to ask your peers any questions, and I will also hop in there as needed. And then we also have the subpage content. So just like I was saying, you wrapped up your home page last week, but now you have your 2 subpages. So this is just the content to reference in the actual activity later. So let's say you chose rivers as your subpage. This is some content that you can use for that page if you'd like. Or if you chose FAQ as your subpage, you could use this information for your content. You're also welcome to come up with your own content if you'd like, but if you use any of these pages as your subpages, you have some content here to use. Now let's see. Next, we have the wireframes assignment. So this one is just a video for you to watch. So you'll just watch this video about how to do wireframes, and that will help you with the next assignment, which is, well, I'll get to that in a second. Your next assignment will be to make your own wireframes. Okay, so in here, just read through the instructions. There's some really great resources for wireframes. As you do your assignment, you can use either of these websites to create your wireframe. You can also, just like it says here, sketch it on paper and then upload an image. However, if you do that, just make sure that your lines are dark so that when you take the picture, I can see them. Sometimes if you write in pencil, it's really light with the once you take a photo, so it's hard to grade that. So you'll learn more about the principles of design. You're going to choose which pages you want to do. So again, you should have chosen your child pages already. And then if you chose some of the ones that were provided, you can use that provided content that we just went over. And there's also some images here that you can use. So you'll do wireframes for 2 pages and then upload those to iLearn. And so I need each wireframe to have an image, significant text. So again, you're welcome to use the content that's provided, or you can come up with your own, but it does need to be significant. And then at least 1 headline. And then you also need to make sure that you're including the elements from the home page that are reused on your other pages. So that would be, for example, your header with the navigation and the logo needs to be on both of those wireframes, and then the footer as well. Okay, and then your next assignment, so you have your wireframes for your child pages, and then you have the assignment continuing to work on your personal site plan. And so for your personal site this week, you need to come up with your content and your images. So for example, say this was your site plan. Last week you should have done the colors and fonts. And then this week you should be doing your sitemap. So what child pages do you want to create? And then you should come up with your content. So what's your homepage content? What images are you going to use? Put them in here. And then the same for page 2 and page 3 content. You don't need to worry about wireframes quite yet. I think we are doing those next week. So this week just focus on what pages you want to create and then the content for those pages, including text and images. And then that's the last assignment for this week. You do have one other required discussion board, which was a couple assignments back. So you'll be doing another peer review discussion board, if I can navigate to it. Here we go. So you are going to be evaluating each other's web pages. So you're going to be looking at the positioning elements, making sure that they have the 2 enhancements from that assignment that you did last week, the finishing up the homepage, that navigation links are interactive, and that the HTML is well formed without errors. And so you can validate each other's code and check on that. So You can also give them any recommendations you have to make their page more visually appealing. Remember, give kind feedback, but you could say, hey, I noticed you used this yellow text on a white background, or light yellow text on a white background, and that's a really pretty yellow color, but on the white background it can be a little hard to read. Have you considered using a darker yellow or a different color? That would be good feedback to give your peers. So think about that. Let them know what kinds of things you like on their website and what kinds of things they can improve, and really help each other grow. So that's week 8. You'll be just repeating, working on content for your site that's coming up, and then also your wireframes for those 2 child pages for the whitewater rafting website, and then doing this discussion board. So I look forward to seeing your work this week.